Blood Warlock, Succubus Partner in the Apocalypse, Chapter 16. First Life or Death Battle, Part 1. Ugh, how cold. Zeman shivered fiercely when he felt the cold temperatures of the outside world. Although the interior of the sports center wasn't particularly warm, the building insulated the strong gusts of near freezing wind and protected the body from the constant fall of water coming from the clouds. While if it wasn't true that Zeman's body had gone through many improvements since the day before, the day the world had become a mess, his stamina and health were his two lowest stats so far in regards to the cold. He wasn't much different from a normal person, just slightly above comparatively. While your strength increased exponentially, hardening and boosting the power of your body's muscles, you want to become more resistant to different environments as well as to prevent possible diseases, among other issues. Your stamina and health stats are the most important, Lilith explained as she walked beside him. Unlike Zeman, who was already completely soaked beyond salvation, there was a small barrier covering Lilith's body completely, so she was as beautiful and sensual as ever. Not even a single drop of rain had touched her body. Lilith, can't you cover me too? He asked with a bit of envy. The water and wind really were just too strong. His body temperature had plummeted only after several minutes, and his stamina was drying up much faster than normal as a result of the strong winds. I'm sorry, but I can't do that. Lilith shook her head with a bitter smile and explained, To be honest with you, except for giving you some information, it would be better for you if you assume as if I'm not here. Unless someone attacks me directly, I can't use my power in any way to help anyone or harm anyone in this world, or the soul record will revoke most of my soul power immediately as punishment. The corner of Zeman's mouth twitched several times when he heard it. Although from the beginning he had not expected to receive Lilith's help, hearing her directly say that she could do nothing but act as a source of information still surprised him. You're basically useless, aren't you? After so long of being teased and tempted by her, Zeman couldn't help but counterattack, taking advantage of the moment. However, who was Lilith? An existence with countless experiences. She nodded and made a sorrowful face as she said in a regretful voice, That's right. I'm just a pitiful, useless woman who has nothing else to do but provide information who would sooner or later be discovered by you. Got it. How about I use my body to redeem myself? Zeman's face turned pitch black when he heard Lilith's words. With no intention of replying to her, knowing that it would only end in his loss, he advanced and casually decapitated two zombies wandering under the storm. The two zombies were decapitated with such ease and in two extremely fluid movements. It was as if Zeman was venting his powerlessness on them. Seeing the dark expression on his face, and seeing how he was clenching his teeth while killing the zombies, Lilith couldn't help but point out, Oh, could it be that you have opened your eyes to violence? With agile movements, and as if he had done this for countless years throughout his life, Zeman claimed the lives of 5 other zombies that had come out of a nearby building as he replied, Yeah, that's right. Violence is fun. And one day I'll kick your ass too. Yeah. Lilith let out a delighted yell and her face flushed as if she was a woman who knew nothing about life. She looked at Zeman, though, through her long eyelashes and whispered, Instead of kicking me, I would rather you spank me with your big hands. Zeman just had no words. He, who was killing zombies like that as if it was nothing, lost his balance and almost fell to the ground when he heard the words of the seductive woman beside him. In his mind, an extremely depraved scene flashed, and he had to shake his head fiercely to bring himself back to reality. Wisely, he decided to stop teasing her and continued moving forward. Seeing him silently admit defeat, Lilith giggled out loud. causing her big assets to show off their beauty and charm to the world. The university pharmacy was located in a westerly direction from where the gymnasium was located. Normally, a 10-minute walk was enough to get there. After all, the pharmacy that contained most of the medicine and healing measures was most needed by people who played sports and were susceptible to injuries during training. But if a normal person wanted to reach the pharmacy under such environmental conditions, with so many dangers, he or she would definitely die miserably without even knowing what had happened to him or her. Even Baizeman did not dare to act rampantly. The fog was so dense that it was difficult for him to see more than 5 meters in front of his eyes, and this was already amazing on its own. A normal person, without as many upgrades as Baizeman, couldn't even see their own nose at this point. While advancing with careful but constant and solid steps, Baizeman suddenly felt a strange movement from his left side. Not caring about anything but his own safety, he directly kicked with all his might in that direction. His left leg had turned into a whip-like weapon. His 69 agility points cut the surrounding mist in two, and his 55 strength points completely blasted out as he felt his left leg hit something hard. The enemy roared in pain and was sent flying several meters away. Although it was only for a split second that the surrounding mist was forced back by his strong and swift movement, Baizeman managed to see the silhouette of his enemy before sending it flying, causing it to disappear into the mist again. The enemy turned out to be a cat the size of a leopard. That cry of pain sounded more like a tiger's roar than a cat's meow. Baizeman was stupefied. His movement stopped completely, and he concentrated on the movement of the surrounding mist as his eyes were not too useful under such conditions. As if it was before he learned the passive skill Special Forces Soldier, Baizeman would have already been killed by the earlier attack of the leopard-sized cat. After all, his combat experience was deficient, and losing most of his vision would make it incredibly difficult for him to sense and dodge such a surprise attack. However, now not only could he sense the attack, but instead of dodging, he managed to make a last-second counterattack. The strange, huge cat was even faster and more agile than the mantis that Baizeman had killed yesterday. Adding to the surrounding mist, he had no way to use his blood manipulation skill, since he didn't even know where the enemy was. Unlike animals, humans did not have a particularly strong sense of smell in comparison, and now that animals had become more powerful beasts after evolving, their senses had been amplified countless times more than in the past. Whoosh. Almost 5 minutes after standing in the same place without moving, a practically imperceptible swooshing sound was covered by the sound of the storm. However, Baizeman's battle instinct had taken a quantum leap after learning the Special Forces Soldier skill, so such a sound did not manage to escape him. In a split second, two blood-red eyes appeared in front of Baizeman, and a pair of coldly glowing claws pointed towards his head with the intention of slashing his neck. Boom! Sharp flash shone, followed by a mighty thunderclap that illuminated the surroundings and shook the ground slightly before everything returned to normal. You have acquired the soul power of Great Mutated Cat level 23, Agility plus 17, Stamina plus 12, Magic plus 10. You have leveled up and reached level 14. You have leveled up and reached level 15. You get plus 4 status points to distribute freely. Baizeman coldly looked at the body of the level 23 Great Mutated Cat that was cut into two parts with a swing of his Xuan Wan sword, and marveled at the feeling of power. From a certain point of view, this leopard-sized Great Mutated Cat was even more fearsome than the Great Fast Mantis, as its agility was superior and the environment played in its favor. However, Baizeman needed only one swing of his sword to end its life.